as the chemicals that take us higher. The night's young, and it's just begun, as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. So loud as the hours pass, we're gonna do it all again. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. The moonlights, summer sky, it was the best we ever had. And we'll stay young forever, we'll never have regrets. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. We're gonna be. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals that take us higher.
29 and I find myself wondering what did happen to the last 10. I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set them rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you, but now I'm seeing all the signs. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 get something from nothing. I sit here looking for an answer. Maybe the biggest question was in the last chapter. You gave me the soul I have today. Without you I never could have moved away. But now I see what you teach. I do believe I always should have stayed. Yeah. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 get something from nothing. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 get something from nothing. Life changes, just open the door. One thing's certain, I'll always be yours.
Good morning, beautiful people. Morning, Matt Rogers. Jennifer's here. Marty's here. Tina, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for stopping by. Jotham, good morning. I found myself sitting at the computer for 2 of your live streams in a row. Well, that's awesome for me. That means that you probably don't have anything better to do, but I'll take it. Woke up this morning. I feel like, I don't know, I'm still half asleep, and I just can't get like that switch on. Not sure if this ever happened to you, but we recorded a podcast last night with the No Borders Homesteaders, crew. Basically, there was Tracy and Maryland and I. We had a pretty good discussion. There was podcast number 11, which is scheduled to come out in about a month, I think. Good morning, good morning. Yesterday morning, it was a pretty cool, almost cold morning compared to what we had a few days before. Went fishing with the two older ones. Alexa caught a trout. Anthony caught a few branches. It's not like it used to be. We used to be able to go fishing and everybody would be able to get their limit, like easily get their limit. You go fish for 5 minutes and it'd be time to go home because you had your limit. Now you can spend a whole day fishing. You'll catch 1 or 2 small trout like this. Not even enough for a meal. But I still have something interesting that I was able to film. It involves cattails. What else? I have another little experiment going on at the moment. I will have the video out within the next few days, I guess. Takes a good 7 to 10 days for the experiment to complete. So we'll be able to see that in about a week from now. I did some work around the house here. I had one of my hog panel that was stuck in the grass. You know, the grass grows. The pigs, for a small time I had them, they were pooping all over the place and digging and pushing, and everything ended up on top of the fence or the panel, and grass started growing. And it was hard to remove it from there because the grass and the roots and the soil, everything was holding it down. I had to dig it up, managed to take it out, and the reason I wanted to remove that panel from there is because I want to use it for my grape trellis. So I had cedar fencing around the house, really, and I cut all the branches. I left 4 cedar trees, but just like the stem standing up. I cut all the branches. They're just there, planted, no roots. The roots are there. I mean, no branches, no nothing. So they should stop growing in theory. If they don't, I'll cut them off. But for now, they're holding my panel in place without having to tie it up somehow. I planted one of my grapevine right in the middle of it, and I'm hoping to be able to grow it on one side, and I'll be planting another one across from it and hoping that I can grow it on the other side. That's the plan anyway. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. My garden is not growing the way I want it to, but we're still early in the season. I planted stuff about 2 weeks ago. It should start sprouting soon. It's usually from 7 to 21 days, but I don't like waiting. I went again yesterday at the community garden and planted some more carrots. We'll see what that does. I'm normally only at the computer when editing, eating, researching, or video editing. Well, that's it's a plus for me, I guess. Hard to put laundry out to dry. Missed the first 5 minutes. You didn't miss much. I'm just really tired. For some reason, I can't seem to wake up. It's like, I don't know. It's like someone drugged me or something. I'm just like, Please, coffee, start kicking in. I mean, I'm on medication for my wisdom tooth. It was removed. Still hurts. But that's not what would make me feel dizzy, like not dizzy, but drowsy like this. Hello, Thomas. Hope everything is doing well with you too. Yeah, so I have this little experiment going on that I will not talk about. I want to keep the surprise. I had this little video about cattails coming out soon. Everything was downloaded. I just have to do the editing. I also, let me see, what are the videos that I have coming up? So I have to do an update on my hair layering, hair grafting, mushroom grow kit. This is something that's coming soon too. I have a 6-week video to make. Actually, I started like 2 days ago, but the whole process takes 6 weeks. So we'll be able to finish filming in about 6 weeks. I have a video about Rambo seeds because for those of you who don't know, you can use my promo code, which is REM10, if you order from ramboseeds.ca, and you're saving 10%. What's going on at Sarah? So I have an update on what's going on Sarah's property, the size of the garden, and all that kind of stuff. I had all 4 wisdom teeth surgically removed at the same time. It was very painful for a week. Yeah, I feel like it's most because I can eat on the one side, but I get tired of always having everything on the same side, so I want to switch it up, but then I can't. Good morning, Lynn. How's David? Everything went well? I just went on a walkabout and found a sugar maple seedlings. Unless the one sugar maple I have is producing seeds, I have no idea how it got there. I have some growing in my compost pile, and I don't have any maples around me. Like there's probably maples around, but a few kilometers from me. Wisdom teeth suck. I got all mine now back 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah. It's not that bad. It's not the pain itself. It's just that it's always bugging me, you know. It's swollen a little bit, and eventually I'll just try to eat something and chew in my jaw, like on the inside of my mouth. Cattails, I want to get them growing in my pond. Once they start growing, they'll keep going on their own. Have you got any payments from Rainbow Seeds? I had several order with the code in the last 2.5 months. They never paid me anything, and I emailed them and they never replied. No, nothing yet. I didn't really check anything. I don't think people started buying yet. There might be a minimum, like if you don't sell for $100 worth of seeds, maybe they don't pay you yet. Something like YouTube would do. Morning, Tiffany. You're doing really well. So far, so good. Right on. That's great. I figured I was going to do a Q&A this morning. And one of the questions I had was, I am new at gardening. Where do I start? They had to drill into my jaw to get the roots out. Still have holes where they used to be. Yeah, they leave it open so that it heals from the inside. Mine were all compressed because I couldn't close my mouth. That sucks. If you were to start a garden from scratch, where would you start? First, I would take a look at where the sun hits on your property and try to find the perfect spot. You need a place where you get at least, it's what, like 12 hours of sunlight during the day. If you don't get enough sun, it's kind of pointless. Find a place where you can reach out easily. It's one thing to have a garden that's full of sun, in full sun, and you have the space, but if you have to drag gallons of water to go and water the garden, sometimes it's not the best thing. So find a place close to the house, um, and from there, do your study. Try to find out what kind of soil you have. Look around what's growing. You'll have a small idea about what's good and not. If all you have are uh, mullein and chicory, or plants that require poor soil, then I'm guessing your soil is pretty poor. But you can always just buy compost and mix it all up with topsoil and have a decent garden for very cheap. $30 for a tractor bucket full of compost, and you can plant straight in that. So it would give you a little start. Starting a garden, watch YouTube and learn companion planting. A lot of plants don't like full sun all day. Some of mine thrive in full sun, half day, and shade the other half. Yeah, true. But then if you want to make like a huge, nice garden with tomatoes and peppers, they need to have full sun. Uh, what we have at the community garden is full sun, 100% of the day, unless it's raining. But as soon as the sun rises in the morning around 5 a.m., 6 a.m., it's full sun until it goes back to bed around 9, 10 p.m. It's bothering me even more this morning. Second question I had there. How do I know if a plant will survive in my garden? Well, depending on what kind of plant you have, look at where it's growing. Try to find a place where the plant is growing. Like I said, if it's growing in a crappy gravel pit, chances are it's a very hardy plant, and it will most likely survive pretty much anywhere. If your plant is growing next to a marsh or next to a lake, probably requires a lot of water. It might be a lot harder to have that plant growing in your area. Now, if you plant it and you're pretty sure that it should grow where you have it, the leaves are usually a very good indicator. The fruits, transplant something the first year, I would cut up the fruit just to give the tree a chance to focus more on the roots instead of on the fruits. And from there, you'll have a very good idea. I mean, even if after the first year, maybe the plant will look dead, but if the roots are still strong, you can leave it there, and it might take a little bit longer, but it will eventually grow and get better and bigger. Another question. I only have small space on patio, or I'm renting. Can I still garden? Now, if you don't have a huge land or a huge property, and all you can do is patio gardening, yes, you can still garden. You can buy some of those plastic containers from Walmart, fill them out with soil, drill a few holes on the bottom just to remove the excess water, and you can use those to plant. Or if you buy tomato plants from the nursery, they come with those pots. You can leave them in there and just put them on the balcony. You can even plant just like herbs next to the kitchen window. That'll do the job as well. Some plants love horrible conditions. My gravel yard is loaded with random things I never planted. Red amaranth, lamb's quarters, random raspberry plants, stuff that's flowering. True. even if you don't have your own property, there's always a possibility of finding help or a spot somewhere else. There's always someone willing to share a part of their property, or raspberries grow in the wild all over the place. You can always go and harvest some of those wild raspberries, and they're actually pretty good, pretty tasty too. Yeah, green stock is another very good thing. Those they stack, and you can plant a lot more in them. Um, you can start with, let's say you have lettuce on the bottom, you can have spinach, you can have, I don't know, it might be harder to grow cucumbers. I might want to have the cucumbers on the lower branch, on the lower pot, but sometimes just try it out. Just do a bunch of different experiments. You'll see what grows and what doesn't. I've seen some people grow tons of food on balconies. Um, and I mean, it's doable. Jennifer saying, I'm planting in 5-gallon buckets again this year. Not the greatest because plants need a lot of root space to thrive, but better than nothing. Exactly. And if you had a balcony, you could do that on the balcony. Um, you could have a few of those containers on a balcony and still take care of them, and it would do pretty good. I mean, obviously, if you're limited in space, you won't be able to grow fields of corns or things like that, but you can still do pretty decent amount of vegetable that still make a difference. Even if it's just herbs. Herbs are so easy to grow. Like, I want to go again at Canadian Tire and buy a few of those barbecue rosemary plants. They are awesome. They smell great, and we started using them in our recipes, and we simply love them. It's a rosemary plant. It grows in zone 8, so it's an annual here in my zone. But I dehydrate them and keep them all winter long. They're actually pretty great. Okay, why does soil type matter, and what is the difference between mulch, compost, and manure? It matters a lot because depending on the soil type, some plants will thrive better. Compost is decomposed organic matter. Whether it's a bunch of plants, manure, cardboard, things like that, where together that are decomposing will turn into the fluffy, dark soil, kind of. Manure is poop, and you need to let it age and turn into compost before you can actually use it, unless it's rabbit poop. And I think the goat poop is the same thing as well. You can use it right away. And then mulching. Mulch is what you would put on top. Wood chips would be good mulch. I use my comfrey leaves. I use the leaves and I put them around my plants. Stops from the invasive plants to take over. And that way, when they decompose, they give nutrients to the ground, to the soil, to the roots, helps the plant grow. And not only is it releasing good compounds for the plant, but it's also stopping or slowing down the growth of other plants around it. So that gives all the place and space to the plant you want to grow to actually expand and thrive. Container gardening is very big this year. Yeah, a lot of people are getting more and more into container gardening, which is pretty cool. And I mean, if you really don't know where to start, find someone that does the gardening already. And trust me, if someone enjoys gardening, they will enjoy showing you and teaching you and talking about gardening. And I mean, I go to the community garden, sit down and wait 15, 20 minutes. Someone from the community will come and we can have a chat. We can share tips and tricks. Oh, my teeth. This is bothering me. And I took Tylenol. It's just a matter of time before it kicks in, I guess. Mulch can be destructive, though. Someone put mulch all over their yard and poison ivy grew like crazy, and another person had a horrible bug problem from it. And some would kill certain plants. Yeah, you need to know what kind of mulch you use. And not overuse it. I mean, it's like everything else. If you put compost and all you do is put compost, eventually it might not be better for your plant because you're going to have all those other plants beneficiating from that compost. They're going to thrive as well. And eventually one of them is going to get bigger than the one you're trying to plant, the one you're trying to grow. But mulching can be as simple as cardboard. It's to stop the weeds from growing while keeping the humidity of the soil at a higher level so the plant doesn't dry out. The other plants around it don't have space to grow, so it leaves all the space in the ground to the plant you're trying to grow. Don't know if it makes sense or not, but... Now, the next question is a question that we're going to have different opinion on it. Do I have to water my garden? Now, I like to think that the garden needs to be watered when you first plant your seeds. Usually, if you have a regular summer, like unless you have a drought, or unless it's flooded. And I mean, if we have a summer like we had last year, there's nothing more you can do. You can't really stop the rain from falling, but you don't have to water. The year before, it was raining like once or twice a week, which again, it's good enough for me. Now, the only time I would water the garden is if we have those plus 40 Celsius degrees, which is over 95 Fahrenheit maybe. You know, when it's really, really warm and humid, I would water the plant and try to give them water at the root, the base level as much as possible. And as soon as they germinate, you can slow down on the water as well. I would water the garden maybe every second day until everything is sprouting. And then when everything starts growing, I would go to once a week. And that's where people might have different opinion. But carrots need a lot of water to start to sprout, to start growing. Once they reach a certain size, let's say like 2 inches deep in the soil, if you give them too much water, they don't need to grow to expand to try to tap water from underneath. They'll stay there and they'll stay smaller. If you stop watering them, those roots, vegetables like carrots, beets, and all those other ones, they try to go and tap for water way lower in the soil. So they will push and they will grow down to try to go get to that water. So it's good to not water them too much, especially at first. You have to water them at first so they sprout and they start growing. But after they're established, then you have to slow down on the water. A bit confusing. Good morning, Dave. Thank you so much for stopping by. Mulch needs to be heavily watered, though, or it pulls moisture up. Yeah. You put a lot of water, you mulch, and then you put more water on the mulch. And the one, like I said, the one I prefer is cardboard. If you have cardboard, put that around your trees. It will stop pretty much everything from growing around your trees. And then once your tree is well established, then you can start planting all your shrubs and other perennials. Hello, Tammy. Rebel Canner, thank you so much for stopping by this morning. Oh, my tooth is killing me. What other question? How can I protect my plants from garden pests and deer? That's not something I've had a lot of trouble with here. We have deer around. I was saying last weekend that we didn't have many deer, and the very next day I saw two of them together in my street. But they don't tend to bother the garden as much. I struggle with the birds and the mice. And what to do to protect the garden? Well, scarecrow is a good idea. Plant some flowers that those animals don't like. If it's a deer, if the problem is a deer, you might have to put a fence around your garden. If it's only birds, really isn't much you can do except maybe bring a cat in the mix. I had to miss my greenhouse this week. It got 103 Fahrenheit. Got the temp down. Yeah, it helps a little bit, definitely. To you throw in cool water can only be a good thing in the greenhouse, especially if it's really warm. I mean, I got in my Jeep. It was at 40 degrees Celsius, which is already about 105 Fahrenheit. And that was not feels like 40. It was 40. Probably feels like 45 Celsius would be around, I don't know, 110, 115 Fahrenheit. That was crazy. Like, this is the warmest we've ever seen. I got home. Most of the stuff needed to be watered a little bit. But that's something you have to be careful too, because if you take the hose to water the plants, the water in the hose is warm, almost boiling. So you have to let it run a little bit. So usually what I do is I'll run it around on the plants I want to kill or what I want to remove until the water starts coming cooler, and then I'll start watering my garden. Hey, Miss Betty, thank you so much for stopping by. How's it going? So yeah, depending on what kind of pest you have, fencing is probably the easiest way, or unless you have a guard dog or something like that for deer, raccoons, and things like that. I know marigolds are pretty good to push away the slugs and things like that. Another question I have here: do I have to prune my plants? When is the best time to prune? Best time to prune is always in the spring, and yes, you should prune your trees. We had a little discussion with Darren 2 days ago on my live stream, where it was saying something about espalier technique, where the goal is to spread out the branches sideways instead of having just grow up. Because whatever you have growing up, if you have a branch going up like this, it will make shade for all those parts of the tree here. So by spreading everything sideways, every part of the tree is able to get the sun. Apparently, they're supposed to create more flowers, more fruits, and you're supposed to have more abundant harvest. So when to prune: early spring or very, very late fall, but usually you try to do it when the tree is dormant. And how? Well, I would start by cutting all the branches that either point straight up or point straight down. And every single branch that cross over, like if you have two branches on your tree and one of them goes like this, well, I would cut this one because it doesn't need to go over the other one. How often should I fertilize my plants? I say at least once a month. It'd be a good idea to give them some fertilizer, depending on what kind of soil you have. And I try to stay organic as much as possible. So what I use is rabbit poop. I put a shovel of rabbit poop around my fruit trees at least once a month. I'll just grab one as I go and drag it all around the property. And since I've been doing that, I see that my fruit trees, my shrubs especially, are doing a lot better. How do I plant a bulb? Depends what kind. How do I design a garden? Well, to design a garden, all that matters is what you want to have. Try to have everything accessible from your house. Like I said, if you want to be able to get up early morning and harvest some chives, don't put chives way at the end of the property. Put them nearby. You get out from the door. Try to have stuff ready there. Unfortunately, we have a dog that does the poop and a pee-pee in front, so we can't have anything there. But once you arrive in my garden in the back of the property, I have like everything T-wise is right on the sides. I have my garden in the middle and all the fruit trees in the back. But I will also have a bunch of perennials around my fruit trees and shrubs. I have some lemon balm, some mint around my apple trees, around my pear trees. I have some chives, rhubarb all around them as well. I was talking on the podcast yesterday saying how I visited a few places lately, and they seem to have like a really not organized garden, food forest kind of, but at the same time, everything made sense. You walked in there, and it's like, okay, where's your stuff? It's all over the place. Okay, but what's where. It's like, yeah, okay, cool. So you'd be walking, and there's an apple tree there, a plum tree is there, the sea buckthorn berry is way back there. You have lemon balm on the floor. You have mint right there. You have asparagus there growing with strawberries, and you have raspberries back there. Like everything is just all spread out. I don't think this is for me. Wait, I had my grandson yesterday, but I can certainly get one of mine or one of Sarah's side for give away for him or both. And while it doesn't seem very well organized per se, like everything is not aligned like we're used to, I find it amazing that you can just walk in there and wherever you look, you have food. You can just grab the food. I think I just gained some space behind the property. The kids' swing, my girlfriend wanted to have it next to the house where I was hoping to have my big greenhouse. That's not where it's going to go. I'm going to have my greenhouse somewhere else. But where the swing was is another place where I can plant some shrubs and fruit trees. so it's a big plus for me. I just have to be careful what I plant there because I don't want anything taking all the sun from my honeyberry shrubs. But I can definitely plant gooseberries and white, black, red currants and things like that, or even grapes if I want to. The grapes can grow pretty fast, though, apparently. I've never seen it done here yet. I'm just hoping that some of them take off and start producing like crazy. I have like 20 grapevines here. Ugh. I have to wake up. I'm still half asleep. Come on, come on. Was there any other question? How do you learn about gardening? Well, if you're here, you're already doing a pretty good job at it. Not necessarily learning from me, but on YouTube, I mean. Luke from Am I a Gardener is incredible in terms of gardening. You know, find someone that will match with your personality and let them teach you. Everybody on YouTube has knowledge. Everybody will do things their own way. But you'll find someone that wants to work the same way you do, and it will you will connect and you will enjoy learning from that person. What do you love most about gardening? Well, it's just being outside, especially if it's nice and there's no bugs. Yesterday, the horseflies were crazy. There were no mosquitoes, but the horseflies was just not giving up. But just being outside, working, fresh air. Who doesn't like being outside, really? You know, when you plant a seed and you see it popping out, it's like, I did that. I was able to do this. Of course, the seed did pretty much all the work on its own, but you still get to see it grow. You get to see the fruits forming on the plant, and then when time comes, you can actually go and harvest it. To me, that's amazing. That's the best part about gardening. Gardening is a blank canvas to design a picture with plants. Totally. You can do what you want. I was driving around with the kids yesterday saying, hey, like, do you realize some people will spend thousands of dollars just to have shrubs and plants that they can't even eat just because it looks pretty? But you can have something that looks gorgeous, but you still get to eat, and it's going to be a lot cheaper. I mean, it's going to take a while before my fruit forest actually takes off and becomes something that we can be proud of. But it's not going to cost me thousands and thousands of dollars. I will propagate as much fruit trees as I can. Right now, I'm working hard on apple trees. It's been 2 months, actually. I should have some ready by now if it worked. I should go take a look. Only problem is, the bigger the branches, the longer it takes. And I have some of the branches I took are pretty big. So I'm not really in a rush to go. the longer I wait, the more chances I have of them rooting in the root balls. My gooseberries are doing great, but then again, they don't need to do. They don't need to have the hair layering method. They can just uh, start their roots as soon as it touches the soil. Yeah, my hair grafted ones should be ready, but I hair grafted like 5 foot branches, so I'm leaving it till the end of July. Yeah, when you can see through the ball, you can have a small idea. I had a few transparent ones for my gooseberries, and those are I can see the roots through the balls. But the black ones and the green ones for the bigger branches, they're gonna take a lot longer to root, and those are the ones I have to keep there for longer. Picking blackberries already? Wow, my strawberries are not even started here, and the strawberry farm behind my house are opening tomorrow, so I should have strawberries soon. I was able to harvest like maybe half a cup of honeyberries. I have like 2 or 3 of them that are really producing a lot, and I can probably go and harvest another half a cup today. Only problem is with just 1 cup, there's not much you can do. Like even if I do jelly or jam, I'm not gonna have a lot. I cover the Ziploc bag with aluminum foil to keep the sun out, to keep the soil damp and sun out, so I can't see until I open it. Yeah, but you can always just lift it a little bit and see, and then close it back. But with the black and green balls, you would have to open them completely and risk of losing everything if you do it. Oh, is it a you pick farm? I'm not going to get much strawberries this year. I need to buy a bunch to freeze. Yeah, a you pick strawberry farm here. I'll be at work tomorrow, but if you ever have a drive, it's called Les Fermes Drapeaux. Strawberry you pick Balmoral. You'll find it. They have a Facebook page, and they say whenever they're open. You would need to get a drive to get there, but once you're there, I mean, it would take you less than an hour to harvest strawberries as much as you want, and it's usually a lot cheaper. Like I mean, a lot cheaper than what you would buy at the store. You can eat them fresh. You can freeze them. You can make jelly and jam. You can make strawberry pies. You can even make wine with the strawberries if you want. Seen that done too. Well, I've been on for about 45 minutes. Sunday morning, I'm still like, I don't know. I feel like I'm still sleepy. I'm still asleep. I'm gonna go outside, try to get some fresh air. Sales will be waiting for me to go hair graft some more wonderful apple trees, I guess. So I'll get prepared for that and go take care of what I have to do here. So I hope everyone has a beautiful, beautiful day, beautiful week. Stay safe and do a lot of harvesting if you can. Grow food, and I'll talk to you again probably next Sunday. I don't think I can go live on Friday night. We're starting to play ball. Hopefully I'll feel better than what I am feeling now. All right. Take care, everyone, and I will let you go with some music.